Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 24th, presented by Mercury. We're going to head on up to Guntersville with Tom Mott, check in with Josh Herren on Logan Martin and Lay Lake, and then we're going to talk to Tracy Robinson, our pro staffer from here at Weiss Lake, and Neely Henry. Stay tuned for our Bucks Island Area Fishing Report. We'll hope to help you put a few more fish in the boat. Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 24th, presented by Mercury. We're going to spend some time this morning with Tom Mott up there on the big lake at Guntersville. Tom, I know you've been up there swinging away up there, but now we got some severe weather today. Are you going to take shelter, or are you going to go up there and play?
Oh, well, you got to take your risk, so of course, we're going to play a little bit, but we always keep our eye to the sky, safety first, right? Talk a little bit about what's going on here on the lake. We are starting to see a shad spawn. It's here and there, but it's definitely happening, and that'll just get stronger, as we move on through the end of the month and the first of next month. It seems like it's a little early, but hey, I'm not going to question it. If it's happening, it's happening. I mean, the bass are there and they're eating. We are experiencing that, that April lull. The tournament weights last week were down a little bit. We were seeing, a good tournament win, in the low 20s. Which is kind of abnormal for Guntersville this time of year anyway. But and anyway, those fish are definitely doing their thing. We saw a lot of males moving in last week. So it was just, it's a 40 fish day. We had a couple of days out on the water. This week, the same thing, hitting those hard spots in the grass, a lot of fish on the beds, and if you're going to catch them, and they're on the beds, if you're in a tournament, I get that. If not, take a quick picture, turn them loose. I mean, we want to preserve our resource the best we can. But, man, I'm telling you, it's a great time to be out on Guntersville. The crappie are about to finish up their thing. We caught some Mongo crappie last week on some swim baits. I mean, it was unbelievable. I have to send the photos. But at any rate, I think they were about finishing up their thing, but they are definitely gorging us post-spawn, and we're just looking for the bass to do that. Move out to their deeper haunts and start us some ledge fishing.
Well, it's a weird time of the year because usually by the time the bass spawn is over, that's when the shad spawn starts. But you got a little bit of a cross thing going on. But hey, Tom, we appreciate everything. Thanks for spending some time with us. Guys, move on the water, be safe in the severe weather, but you're going to have to cover water with that shad spawn. Again, Tom, thank you so much.
All right, guys, y'all have a good one. Be safe out there.
Well, thanks as always, Tom, for the information. Folks, don't forget, Bucks Island Fish Fest, May the 1st, right here at 4500 Highway 77 in Southside, Alabama. We got pros like Matt Herren, Brandon Polinick, Brian Latimer, Scott Canterbury, Wes Logan. Food, fun, raffles with free stuff, discounts in the loft. Learn all the new stuff, talk to the pros, and have fun with all of us right here at Bucks Island Fish Fest, May the 1st. Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 24th, presented by Mercury. We're going to head on down to the middle of the Coosa River chain with Josh Herren from Reaction Innovations. Josh, tell us what's going on at Logan Martin and Lay Lake these times of the year.
Man, I am not an expert on Logan right now. I actually had to spend a little time on Lay this weekend. It's not really firing that great. These largemouths kind of set up in that whole funk they get in when they first come up. So, man, it still took a great bag. Still took 21 pounds this weekend. I think we had 16, so it was okay. But, I mean, fish right now are kind of far and few between as far as shallow fish go. Seems like there's a pretty good concentration of fish schooling. So that might be a good option to look at if you got the urge to get out early. Any of these kind of bigger main lake pockets, like you're looking for like the really flat ones. And that's kind of where I would start at. Water willow is kind of way behind as of right now with the flooding and all we've had. But the dollar grass and all seems to be doing great. So there's always potential and plenty of visible cover to fish.
Now that we've had some stability in the water, and while we've seen warmer weather, we've had a big full moon coming. Are you seeing fish that are moving up shallow and they're just in that funk, or are they just not quite all the way there yet?
Dude, we've got a bunch of fish that have already spawned. I caught one off the bed this weekend that we actually weighed in. But, dude, there's a potential to catch a really good bag right now, actually, just strictly based off fry garters. There was a bunch of fry around this weekend, but we had typical Alabama power when fish spawn. They like to yank the water out a foot. So, but I mean, if you get a little stable water, a little stable weather, I mean, fishing has the option right now of being great. I know there was an 8 and a 6 weight in this weekend out of one bag. So, I mean, it's fishing tough, but the lake's actually showing the opportunity to really shine if you can catch it at the right day and the right time.
Well, I know we'll see a bunch of boats on the water this weekend with Alabama Bass Trail if they can fish around the severe weather. But, you know, as always, Josh, we appreciate all the time you spend with us and all the insight down there. And we will talk to you again soon.
Thank you, buddy.
Well, thanks, Josh, for all that information. And, folks, don't forget, May 1st, right here at Bucks Island, 4500 Highway 77 in Southside, Alabama. We got pros like Matt Herren, Scott Canterbury, Brandon Polinick. We're going to have raffles, going to have seminars, food, free stuff, discounts in the loft. Have some fun, meet everybody, and get the latest tackle right here in the loft at Fish Fest, May the 1st at Bucks Island. Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 24th, presented by Mercury. Hey, we're going to head on out to Neely, Henry, and Weiss Lake with our good friend Tracy Robinson, our pro staffer from right here at Bucks Island. Tracy, tell me what you know about Weiss Lake right now.
Well, right now, Weiss and Neely, both about the same. All lakes, a lot of love in the air right now. You know, out there fishing right now, everything from the wildlife to the fish, you're kind of seeing the same thing. Some real interesting situations out there. But the fish, you know, especially right now, it's all about the spawn. Fish, there are some fish that spawn a little early at Weiss. So I am seeing a few post spawners setting up. You know, they're not really out there on the true summertime stuff, but they've actually moved out past the beds and are sitting on some of those primary points leading into spawning areas. Those fish, Carolina rig, something a little slow. I tried a little bit of crankbait activity, some reaction bites, not as much luck. I'm still having to be pretty slow with the presentation. At Weiss on those post spawners. The spawners, it is what it is. You know, a couple of different techniques. I kind of stick with the natural colors, the green pumpkins and stuff when I'm looking at these fish initially, you know, and throw a jig, pack a crawl, rage crawl, a couple of different plastic baits in there. And then if that's not working, I'll eventually go to something white, you know, that I can really see and just torture the fish for a bit. But there are fish to be caught that are on the bed up there. I've seen several up there on both Weiss and Neely. And then you got your pre-spawners that are coming in. So there's a little bit of everything from pre to on bed to coming off bed going on at Weiss right now. So the key point is being at least somewhere close to where those fish are spawning, you know, going in or coming out or they're locked on. That's pretty much, I would say, a good 75-80% of the fish are in one of those three modes right now. But the key point is being close to those spawning areas. When I've seen those up there just kind of cruising, I've gone down to some hard banks in the past couple of 2 weeks. Spinner bait, just throwing them on those hard clay banks where I know they will be spawning. I've had some good success. And wacky rig, when I really slow down and I'm really confident in a bank, I'll slow down with that wacky rig Cinco and just drag it around a little bit in those areas when I'm not seeing them. So that's kind of been the key for me, is something to do with the spawn, either coming, going, or locked on, and catching them those three areas or ways.
Well, Tracy, as always, we appreciate everything, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you, Tracy, for all that information on Weiss Lake and Neely Henry. Don't forget, folks, you can meet Tracy and our other pros, Scott Canterbury, Matt Herren, Wes Logan, and others, Brandon Polinick, right here at Bucks Island Fish Fest, May the 1st, 4500 Highway 77, right here at Bucks Island. Food, fun, raffles, free prizes, discounts in the loft. Fish Fest, May the 1st, Bucks Island. Come hang out with us. Well, that'll do it for our Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 24th, presented by Mercury. Thanks to the guys for spending some time with us and sharing their expertise. We hope that this helps you catch a few more fish every time you go out on the water. And don't forget, when you want to be notified of everything, like, subscribe, and follow our social media channels, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. That way you'll know what's happening when it happens right here at Bucks Island.